Okay, and we're back. Diego,
What is up?
what shirt you got going on right now? What do you have on your shirt?
I have a Detroit Pistons shirt for this big game one here. They just I got the stream on the other screen and they just showed a shot of the city of Detroit. I'm like, come on, I live somewhat close to there. Maybe my girlfriend's house
Oh, I
is in
saw
the
Kay
picture. I
just
don't
like
know,
meditating, like he's locked in,
bro. The
so
shot is
locked in.
crazy. They're just like this is the most glazing shot, just right there. Like that was so funny to me. That's why I don't know if you got if my face got recorded. That's why I was making that face.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
exciting stuff.
How was your weekend,
SCA.
man?
That was good. Played some basketball with the guys on my team. I got to enjoy like the last few days of not having class. What else did I do? Oh, went to a tulip. Went to pick tulips with my girlfriend. That was kind of sick.
Oh yeah,
Didn't
it's the
know they
season.
had
Did you
so
go
many
to Did you go
tulips.
to the Holland Tulip Festival?
No, so that's what I first when I looked up. That would have been the move, but that's also like 3 hours away. I was like, I'm not. I went home last
That's
weekend. I
in
was like, I'm
Kalamazoo
not.
territory, man. I remember those.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not driving 3 hours at all, but may we'll go here for Juneteenth or something. But yeah, pretty chill weekend. This weekend should be the same. I'm just trying to load up these like chill weekends, just when we don't have too much to do. Try to get some hooping in as well.
Yeah, I've been all systems go now. Like, so I was hooping when I was like recovering a little bit. I was just shooting around and stuff all
Right,
week long. And now I can finally go weightlifting and so I
nice.
started again on yesterday actually, and I feel great. I feel fantastic. I took a shot to the quad doing pickup
Yeah,
today, and then somebody stepped on my ankle or foot, and I
that
somehow still
sucks.
was able to play through it. So I'm just built like a tank after one day of weightlifting. So
Yeah, that's how it
I feel
works.
so happy about it. But man, my weekend was crazy because I never would have thought. Um, I I ran into Caleb Williams, and
Oh, right, I
I took
saw
a picture
that.
with him.
That
Yeah,
was
and
crazy.
so the story behind that is I saw him before he walked into the Mexican restaurant he was going into. I was
Really.
shopping in the area and I was just leaving. And then I saw this
Mm-hmm.
African American lady in the car just like laugh and look in his direction. I didn't know who it was at the time she was looking at. I'm like, why is she laughing and like not paying attention to where she's going? Something must have caught
Yeah.
her eye. Then I just see this big figure that looks like Caleb, and I'm like, no way. No way. I turn around, I park, and I'm like stalking him a little bit. Not gonna lie, because I'm like, I can't miss this moment. I gotta get like an autograph or picture or something. But I didn't have a
Yeah.
Sharpie. So I just waited till
Oof.
he ordered. And then strangely enough, in this restaurant, there were like a dozen people. Not
Mm.
many people like bothered him. I was surprised. So I kind of like one a couple people like wanted to take a picture with him. Cool. Then he went to sit down. I was like, oh no, oh heck no. I did not wait all this time to not take a picture with him. So I walked around, approached him, and was like, hey, Caleb, I know you're kind of waiting on your food and I don't mean to disturb. Can I take a picture? I felt so awkward. And
Yeah.
I couldn't have a conversation with him because once I did that, once I asked somebody to take a picture, everybody and their grandmother wanted to start taking a picture. So I'm like, oh,
Dang, you
I
started the
he's
movement.
probably
That's
pissed
pretty
off at me.
real.
So
Nah,
yeah,
that's
crazy
kind of
man.
crazy.
Just my local neighborhood in the suburbs. I never thought Caleb would be there. Like
Wow.
crazy.
Must be a good Mexican place, supposedly.
I mean, it's a good area. It's a really high end area, like the
Uh,
shopping strip mall and whatnot. I'm not going to give away locations, obviously, but
mm,
um, it was crazy because he was just in the city the day before. Like he was a Pete Pro Armstrong and like a bunch of the Chicago Stars. So it was like
okay.
it
Huh.
was just shocking to see him in the suburbs. So yeah,
Yeah,
best day of my weekend. Like
that's
best day of the
awesome.
year probably. Like it probably beats the Caleb and St. Throws. It's just crazy to say, but like he instantly goes on the celebrity list. So I just have to not so humble brag about that, but yeah.
That's pretty real. Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, let's
Good
focus back
weekend.
on basketball here. Round one is in the books.
Yeah,
Um, as a whole, what did you make of the first round? There were three series that went 7 games,
yeah,
all in the Eastern Conference.
yeah. Wow. just how quickly things can change. I mean, for the Pistons, the Franz Wagner injury basically allows the Pistons to come back, and not that I don't know. I've been, uh, I saw this one reel from this guy that's really into analytics saying how with just Paolo as a quote unquote point guard, him not being as decisive as Franz, that's a big reason why the Magic lost. I thought that was really interesting, and just kind of showing you like Paolo can put up all those numbers. I mean, I think he had 38 in Game 7, but it doesn't
Wow.
instantly translate to wins, right? So that's a big thing. How things can change for the for the Cavs. I mean, same for the Cavs. I think at halftime of that Game 7, they were tied on score up to that point, and then the Cavs just pop off with Jared Allen, who he was the only guy who really wanted to hear. So that was insane to watch as well. And man, I was so happy the Celtics lost. That actually made me really happy. Like my girlfriend was like, "You're being so weird." When I was like, "Come on, the Celtics lost. Come on." I just dislike the Celtics overall, but also because like there's no way they could have won this year after it being a gap year and whatever. It was just nice to see them go back to their old ways of shooting threes and bricking them. But
that was really surprising to me. I'm like, at some point, you have so much of diversity in how you get your shots that you shouldn't. They're taking a lot of ill-advised threes, and I'm like,
yeah.
There's a lot to talk about with the Magic in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed off at them for just. I didn't have any stake in like who won or who lost.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was just so pissed. How do you piss away a 24-point lead and just suddenly forget how to play basketball for like nearly 8-9 minutes? It's just crazy. And then like you just allow your emotions to take over, and because of that you lose the series. Like how did you expect to go back to Detroit and expect to win? Like it wasn't gonna happen.
So, yeah, how could you expect that and then give up the Tobias Harris game just of all time?
I'll give Tobias Harris credit on that.
He
was just an absolute monster.
No, he was. I mean, he literally hit a shot where he loses the ball, catches it in midair, and still shoots it and makes it.
That's do you know how hard that is to make?
No,
like you basically have to train to like, and I do this sometimes where I'm training where just my elbow and not having any dip and trying to make the shot. But like to do that in midair and having to adjust the fact that like, oh wait, my shot pocket's just suddenly thrown off because the guy like got his hand on it. I gotta adjust somehow. That is very difficult. Like 99% of even NBA players wouldn't be able to make a shot like that. So
yeah, man,
it's just insane like how that unfolded.
And yeah, I guess what else? Kind of tells you who the real big dogs are. I guess we said that last week with the Spurs and the Thunder. Shows you a big flaw. We were already talking about the Nuggets. I think that's kind of it, right?
That the Nuggets were also really, really disappointing to me. Yeah. I thought they had a lot more depth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of injuries on the Timberwolves, and they couldn't capitalize. Terrence Shannon, your boy, I know you loved him.
That was awesome.
That crazy game. Another game one where it's like Denver and the Magic were really disappointing. The Raptors, I felt bad for them.
Yeah.
They seemingly had a lot of control in the first half, but like it's one of those things where it's like the Cavaliers were hanging around, and now they're up 5-2 on the Detroit Pistons in the next round because the Raptors couldn't adjust their defensive schemes and like figure out enough offense to win. So they had no answers for Jared Allen. Absolutely none. He seemingly took over the game from like the third quarter on, and they couldn't do anything about it.
That was something else that run by him. I mean, he had a double-double in a quarter, but also just sucked for the Raptors that they didn't have their point guard as Emmanuel Quickly, and they didn't have
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram there in the second half of the series. So in the end, if you're the Raptors, this was all. I don't know if I said this to you. This was like house money for them. Like this was, let's just give it a shot as their first real run as this like core, and we'll see what they do. I think I've read that they're going to try to be aggressive this year in the off season. So we'll see.
Well, guess who the Dallas Mavericks got though?
I know Masai Ujiri. That
I
was
don't know how that
crazy.
happened. Like,
Yesterday was
I
such a
can't
big
believe he
day.
left. Wow.
Well, he had
What are your
already
thoughts on
left
it?
the Raptors. I think he'd either been fired or left the Raptors
Oh, yes, yes,
previously.
yes. That's right. He was fired last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah,
That's so right.
but I think it'll be great because I mean, one, my man made a team. He made a team over time that was fine, and then he had to pivot and then literally walk into the perfect situation to get Kawhi Leonard and win a championship. And the hardest part of the process of that, getting the best players, already done with Cooper Flag. I think my biggest thought is what you need to do now is you need to decide your center, and probably in this draft, if we're lucky, we either go up and get Darren Peterson or get some other guard. You can get a big guy. I don't. Somebody was saying if we get to 4, we'll get Caleb Wilson. I'm fine with that. But I think
Would you pick that knowing you have Kyrie Irving on your roster and like just plan to move on from him? Would you do that?
it depends on how good the guy is. Like if you get Keaton Wagler, he's like if you get in that position to get Keaton Wagler. I know on Twitter a lot of Mavs people are saying that if we have a chance to pick Mikal Brown, we're gonna pick him instantly because Masai likes that kind of player. I think it's worth it just to look at, and you can run the same thing that what's it called, like Chris Paul with Shea, and whatnot. Just like have Kyrie be there for someone else, and obviously, we're not in any rush. Cooper Flag is still developing. You still have to build that team around him, but I think the biggest next thing after that is to find a real center. Decide if Derek Lively is really going to be your center for the future. What do you do with Daniel Gafford? Do you want to get another center in free agency somewhere else? Someone that could actually.
Wait, hold on. Isn't this the same guy who was like all in love with like D Live and
I
like
am in
just
love with
obsessed
D-Lab,
over
but
him?
he can't. The last 2 seasons, he's barely played max 40 games combined in 2 seasons.
You're a
And
fake Mavs fan.
I'm
That's what I'm
not fake at
finding out
all.
today, Diego.
I'm not fake at
That's
all. I'm just
crazy.
telling you. I'm down for D-Live to be our guy, but if he can't play, and part of it is also Nico Harrison hiring like the worst training staff ever to take care
Oh,
of their
your favorite
players.
guy. You love him.
I'll never forget when Nico Harrison got fired and the tweets of like Hitler dead, like people, like guys
Oh
reading,
my god.
and it's just like Hitler dead, and I was like, yes, that's what it feels like. We've been freed
That
from
is
this
wild.
tyranny.
I didn't realize like Dallas was like low-key like Philly fans. This is crazy.
You know how it is with the Cowboys. Jeez, it's just depressing.
Well, the Cowboys just like everybody thinks they're gonna win the Super Bowl every single year
Yeah,
in Dallas. It's ridiculous.
I'm just waiting. I'm in like hibernation until we're good again. That's it. Not even
Anyway,
kidding,
I think
yeah,
I we didn't even talk about the Knicks, despite them putting
right.
140 points and then what was game one? 137. They
Jeez,
combined for like 277 points over the past 2 games. Just absolute
that's
dominant
nasty.
wins in the closeout game against the Hawks, opening game against the 76ers. Can they go all the way to round two? I
All the
mean,
way
can
to
they go
round.
all the way to the
Yeah,
finals? All the way to the finals. I
yeah.
knew what they're doing in round two is crazy. Just had a brain fart moment, stupid moment.
No, that's
Can
all
they make it to
good.
the finals at this rate?
I mean, they're playing the Sixers after that game. Yeah, it seems very possible they can make the finals because I don't think during the regular season they were playing this way, and just I don't know why it took Mike Brown so long to do this, to use Cat as a passer, because especially he had done this in Sacramento with Domantas Sabonis, so it makes sense. And now that it's happening, it's just absolutely wiping everyone off. I think it's excellent. Even I don't even think he scored that much Cat last game. It was more
He doesn't need
Jalen
to. The
Brunson.
zest is with him.
The zest is with him. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is what kind of, how does that look against the Pistons? Because the Pistons went undefeated against the Knicks this year. Even down guys, they still beat the Knicks multiple times. I feel like that's going to be the big Eastern Conference Finals matchup, which I think would be amazing. And that could be the next rivalry here if it's a good series. So,
Yeah,
especially
I mean,
Mikal Bridges as
I'll say
well.
this: I would think the Knicks would have the advantage, and this is me hating like personal friends who are Knicks fans and like just out of annoyance about how much they talk about the Knicks, like they're about to win stuff when they
Yeah,
always like fail them. But to be honest, Detroit doesn't match up really well when you think about offensively to what the Knicks have like in 5 layers, especially when OG
mm,
Anunoby continues to play out of his mind and Mikal
yeah.
Bridges is like
Is it
being really
there?
efficient. Like it's like no contest. So I think
Hmm.
I think with the Knicks, why not? Why
Oh
not? I
yeah,
think the thing that comes to mind is whoever wins the Pistons and the Cavaliers is no sleepover. It's not like the Knicks, sorry, the 76ers are really, really talented, but game one showed like they have a ways to go to keep up with the Knicks, like on all fronts. They were just reading Joel Embiid's passes, like
yeah.
intercepting them, like getting down the floor, taking shots with no hesitation, like you name it. It was just complete domination. So
Uh-huh. I think
I think what gets me nervous is how they're gonna handle Mobley and Allen, that combination, when Harden's kind of leading the charge. But at the same
yeah,
time, we know how Harden does in the big games, and um,
yeah,
luckily Donovan Mitchell kind of compensated for him in Game 7. But um, there's a lot of flawed teams in the Eastern Conference that led me to
yeah.
think that the Knicks can easily make it to the finals.
I agree. I think one thing that we should I want to watch. I want to see what happens in game two because in my mind, I don't think anyone on the Knicks should be able to guard Tyrese Maxey, and I think that's something they couldn't exploit this game. Like listening to I wasn't able to watch the game, but listening to some podcasts, they were saying it started mostly with Joel Embiid, and they gave him the ball, which is fine. That makes sense after what a great series he had, but the Knicks have actual centers, actual big body centers that Embiid can't just put under the rim and lay up on. This is the time for Maxi because I don't think anyone on the Knicks can guard Maxi in a straight line. No one's quicker than him. No one on the Knicks is quicker. So that's a big thing to watch in game two. That'll help us decide, at least for the next few games, what's going to happen. But I think if the Knicks can win this series, I still think that Eastern Conference Finals can be big. And I'm hoping it's the Pistons. I hope it's a good matchup. And yeah, but the Knicks have been playing good defense. That's the biggest thing. You don't hold a
Yeah.
team to under what was it under 100 points in the playoffs without great defense, especially if you're scoring that many times to get 104 or
They
137.
did it 2 games in a row, I think. Because Philadelphia, what do they have? But the Hawks had 89. I know that for sure.
Yep.
It's not showing me what they did in the last game. Let's see. What was the last?
Like
Yeah,
game one.
the Sixers scored 98 points in game
Yeah.
one. So under 100 both times, and while scoring like 135 plus. Really, really
Yeah.
impressive stuff that we're seeing
It's
from them.
it's just interesting how you could. I think it's just crazy. Mike Brown just discovers this now. Like this feels like something that should have been done earlier. Maybe strategically he was hiding it. I don't think so, but who knows?
But
So,
but hey, what's he doing? He's doing exactly what Knicks fans have been complaining about Tibbs. He's making
yeah,
adjustments in real time in the playoffs, and that's what they wanted out of his lineup. Just a
yeah.
coach that can make them 5% better in those small areas of adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing that. So you have to give
Yeah.
him complete credit.
No, I agree. That's awesome. So we'll see.
All right. Sleeping Giant. I always feel like the Timberwolves get underestimated.
Yeah.
We're talking about the top of the Western Conference. Yesterday's game was just, it looked like all the momentum was going into San Antonio. They're in
Yeah.
San Antonio. Crowd is going wild. And somehow
Yeah.
the Timberwolves are like creating turnovers, getting on the fast break. Anthony Edwards
Mm-hmm.
shoots a three over Wemby. Despite Wemby having what? 12 blocks? He
Yeah.
had a triple double with like
With
12 or
blocks.
13 blocks.
Yeah.
And it was just insane. Like at one point, he was on pace for having 16 blocks in one game.
It's
Just
crazy.
ridiculous effort. And the Timberwolves still won and controlled the end of the game.
Yeah.
With that said, San Antonio, Champagne had a shot.
Mm.
He got the first guy to jump, dribbled to the left, and shot a three. Didn't fall. Unlucky. But are the Timberwolves the favorites? They stole game one right now. Like,
Yeah.
what do you make of the series, or is it still too early to tell?
I think the Timberwolves have a bit of an advantage because right they take home court, but not only do they take home court, this is a game where Anthony Edwards plays 25 minutes, a game that no one thought Anthony Edwards was gonna play in, and he just goes bionic man. He's like, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna play in this game. He makes great shots, a reasonable game shooting wise as well. And even at the end of that, he's still disappointed in himself. There's still more for him to do, more for him to improve on, and it's just game one and they still took that game home. And I think a big thing is Wemby didn't shoot well. Wemby didn't make a 3 out of 8,
Yeah.
and he still has a triple double with blocks. But like, I think it's interesting just the random matchup at times on Wemby, getting like an actual brick of a guy, a fire hydrant. Like, yeah, you can put Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal's big and he's long, but he's not a brick, man. And I think that was a big thing for Wemby and also Rudy Gobert, of course. But I think in the end of the fourth quarter, they don't even play Gobert that much. So I think this could be a time where the Timberwolves have been at this point. This would be what the third straight year. Yeah, this would be the third straight year if they get this round where they make the conference finals again. This is a team that when it's time, they flip the switch and they're turned on. Jaden McDaniels on a different level. Terrence Shane Jr. starting. They might get Io back here soon as well. I don't see any reason why they can't do this, unless Wemby kind of takes over, and it's how it goes, right? You're gonna face some adversity in that first playoff series, that first playoff run, and I think that's what the Spurs might see here and might knock them out. But right, this is just game one. Who knows what's gonna happen, right?
I like what you mentioned about Randall. A lot of times he's matched up on Vassell, and it was just like a complete different mismatch. And while I don't think this is the ideal matchup for Gobert on Wemby versus Jokic on Gobert, I do think Randall's a problem that the Spurs don't have a direct answer for. And like putting Wemby on him is not the solution because he doesn't have the lower body strength to handle a guy like Randall. But I'm not saying he doesn't have lower body strength. I'm just comparing him to Randall, and it's going to be very difficult to mess with. It's kind of impressive how he's able to read like Jaden McDaniels, who has been really, really impressive with his offensive game lately. That's been something that you can't overlook with the Timberwolves. It's not just Ant Edwards anymore. Got to worry about Randall and McDaniels and
Ant.
Yeah, of course. But like with the Spurs, it's just I think they have a lot of difficulty dealing with Randall, and unless they don't find a matchup to handle him, it's going to be a long series. It's going to be a long series because Randall is perfectly fine shooting elbow jumpers well out of like Wemby's vicinity. It's more of like can the Spurs still keep up? And they almost did. They almost completely came back. I still think there's too early to tell. I would still pick San Antonio, but I'm not underestimating the Timberwolves by any means, especially not after they took game one.
Yep, and then just two last things. I feel like a lot. So the Spurs, right? The Spurs beat the Thunder. I think 3 of the 5 times they match up during the regular season, and a big advantage they have is not only do they have a lot of guards, but they have a lot of big guards that can drive and attack the paint. Right? You have Castle, you have Fox, you have Harper, and then you have Champagne as well who can shoot. Devin Vassell can also shoot. So you've got these guards to wings that are very long, very athletic, and can make a good offense. But then, and that beats the Thunder, who are more just big, strong, long, but they don't have that kind of skill. Maybe that beats them. But then the Timberwolves come in. They have maybe a bit less guard depth without Io and without Dante. But now they have this Julius Randle, which no one, maybe Keldon Johnson can match up with Julius Randle. But that's it. That's all you have to match up with him. And so it's so interesting where, right, in the regular season, it doesn't matter, right? It's just one game. You blink and it's gone and you're on to the next one. But here, when you're seeing someone up close like that for 2 weeks, you understand how these puzzle pieces mesh together and how you might think, well, Keldon Johnson might need to start now or something or the other, right?
I mean, the only
So,
guy that I think size-wise makes more sense to match on Randall
mhm.
is Luke Cornett. That's the
Yeah.
only guy. And like I don't trust him in a vacuum. I know he's had really good numbers defensively, but
Hmm.
like that's not a
He's
I
just a
wouldn't be
center. Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy having to play him and Wemby trying to deal with
Yeah.
Randall. That I think takes a hit on the offense significantly.
Yep. And then the last thing is Mike Conley had a great game in this one, and just I saw Ant was shouting him out, and I'm like, if you don't know about Mike, like I don't know if you've seen this video, this meme where it's just a dog. It's a really old dog, and he's at the beach and he's just digging a hole, just with one paw though, because he's so old, and it was really like someone like subtweeted that tweet and said Mike Conley tonight because he was just dishing. He made a bunch of threes. It's so awesome because he's a one-time All-Star. He's just such a great. He's just a point guard, man, and he's 38. I think he's so old and he's still doing it on a team like that. He's like 6 feet tall. I feel like, and he's so great.
And they're matchup hunting him
Left-handed.
too. They're
Yeah,
matchup hunting him every time because of everything you mentioned about his age and his height.
and he's still out there having a great. I think he had a reasonable plus minus. So
He had a really timely three to
yep.
hold off the Spurs. Like in those, you know how in those last 4 minutes you're trying to get when you have like a 2 possession lead and stuff, and you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
hold it. You need those threes as a team to keep separation. He came through in those
Yep.
moments for them. That's the kind of guy he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And 100%. I love how you mentioned him and brought him up.
Yep. And one last thing, I think Jaden McDaniels said this. I heard on a video on Twitter. Was
What did you
that
say now?
no? It wasn't like beef, but he was just saying right. Wemby gets a block. The block isn't the end of the possession. The possession ends when Wemby's team grabs the defensive rebound, and I think that's how that three that Mike Conley gets was created. Right. I think Jaden McDaniels or someone drives to the rim, gets blocked by Wemby. Now Jaden McDaniels grabs that rebound, somehow gets it to Conley in the corner for the three. And that's such a good mindset where, yeah, you go for the layup, you get stuffed at the like pinned on the back where you'd be like, dang, like this dude's an alien. Like, what are we gonna do? It's so not fair. But then their mindset of saying, well, it's not done. Like we can get the rebound and make something out of this. And that's so just
You need to have that hopeful mindset.
exactly. So awesome for them. So if any I think this Timberwolves team is just so crazy where they can
They're
just turn
they're
it
not
on
going away
whenever.
quietly. It's going to be
No,
6 or 7 game series. I
yeah,
didn't mean to do that on purpose, but
it's all good.
I feel like you do
Yeah,
that every episode now with a podcast. But
with the playoffs, right?
do the Lakers have a chance?
Do the Lakers have a chance? Me,
Maybe
knowing
a trick
me,
question.
knowing me as a LeBron goat truther. Wow, these Detroit shots are amazing. But
I would say that's a stand.
I'd say even then I'd say I don't think it's possible. You would need
What? Not even LeBron can do it, Diego.
because this team is just amazing. All right, and they feed into exactly what the Lakers were terrible at in the last series, which is turning the ball over. It's gonna be really tough, and who knows if Luka's even gonna play. That's the biggest thing. If Luka plays, if he had played a game at least in the last round, I'd be more confident. But it's looking really really futile here. But I also think if you're the Lakers, like what? Who cares? Like this season, there were no expectations. You still have LeBron. Like it's so complicated. Whatever the arc is for this season, you're just here to play the games and try to see what happens. So I think for the Lakers, you're not too worried about it, but you're gonna do what you can. But they're not as
That was a
offensively
terrible
challenged as the
pass.
Rockets. Oof.
He
Yeah.
just gave it to Dennis. It's crazy.
Dennis
He just
the
said, "Here,
Menace.
Merry Christmas."
So, yeah,
Sorry. It's already an 18-point game, and the first quarter hasn't even ended yet.
let's
Um,
go.
but my counter argument, and I don't think I'd have to be making this for LeBron, but who's guarding him? You trust Lou Dort on him?
I mean, Lou Dort's a great defender, but I don't know, man.
But it's against your GOAT, man.
Yeah, but my GOAT's 41 years old, and Lou Dort is literally playing like no pads.
Oh, here comes the excuses.
Contact football.
This is crazy.
Lou Dort is scary, bro. Like I remember when the Mavs played them, I would just hate Lou Dort so much.
What happened to Lou Dort? Divorce court, child support, Lakers in 5. What happened to that? What happened to that energy, man? I don't like what I'm hearing.
And even then, in the regular season, the Lakers didn't fare well. So I don't know, man.
You're just giving up all hope on your GOAT. That's crazy.
First
the Mavs and now this. This is crazy, man.
My GOAT. I was really worried on Friday because I was like, if they go to a game 7 and they could possibly lose, like that would be actually so scary. That was, and I felt bad because I was. Yeah, I was so scared, but I fell asleep. And I fall asleep middle of the fourth quarter, and I wake up, I open my eyes, and I just see LeBron being asked, "What do you have to say to Father Time?" And he's like, "I'm beating his ass." And I was like, "Whoa, did the game end?"
You ran through a wall. That's what Diego ran through a wall in that moment.
I was like, "Did the game end? What happened?" And I thought it was so funny. And then they're like, "Oh, great win!" And I was like, "Oh, okay, great." It was so crazy. I was just so tired that day. But I stayed up for the Pistons comeback. So, yeah, who knows? I think the Lakers are getting – I'd say that's 5.
They're getting slacked? Okay.
Yeah.
So OKC in 5. Got it. Okay. Based on the way how the Pistons are playing now, do you think that's going to end in 5 too?
That would be amazing. I'm down for that. It's just – and just off my mind, and I heard someone talk about these the matchups between Cleveland and Detroit over the regular season. Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley might be good centers. They're twigs, man. They're not big enough to deal with Jalen Duren. And this could be the Jalen Duren return series of man.
Well, he returned in Game 7. I think he's riding high with some momentum, from that into this game, do you have a point there? He's going to be a very difficult match, just like we talked about with Randall. He's going to be a very difficult guy to deal with. Not easy.
I feel like if I had an NBA team, I'd want to collect at least one or two of each type of player, right? You have your brick of a center, just refrigerator man, Shaq, your Shaq Diesel. Then you have some Evan Mobley, skinny guy that can shoot, or even Karl Anthony Towns, a big guy that can shoot. Then you have another big body wing, a skinny wing, or you can even have OG Anunoby play in between those. You have a big guard, you have 2-3 big guards, and then one super speedy guard. If you have all of that, that's like the Infinity Stones. I feel like that's what you need.
Who's passing the ball?
The little guy. The little guy's zooming around. And then maybe you get one of the bigger wings to do that. You have both of them be your guards a little bit. Or big guards, I guess. Yeah. So
I'm trying to think about what you're saying. And I'm trying to build a well-rounded team without trying to make it too unfair. But if it were me, I would go Jokic at the 5.
Yeah.
And then going at the 4. 4 is always a tough position.
It's so it doesn't even exist anymore. It's power forward.
Kawhi's the perfect 4 in my opinion.
Yeah.
For what you want. He's perfect 4 because he can guard 1 through 5 if needed. But then he's also he has his own game.
Mm-hmm.
But think about that. I'm already started with Jokic and Kawhi. Then I'm trying to think about I would love a Cam Johnson, Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
I love those 2 players. Those 2 are my favorite role players, 100%. And then for me, I would just want a guy with range that can command the floor. And personally, I would go Dame Lillard. I know he has a lot of defensive problems.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Some realistic. I would agree. He does.
Yeah. I was
I would agree. But his offensive game is so good. And I think with the lineup we currently have, between Kawhi, Cam, and Trey, I feel comfortable with the size and length we have. That would be kind of what I would ideally want to roll out in the playoffs. But then the way the league is trending now, I feel like you can't rely on that from your starting lineup. You need eight, 9, 10 deep players. Like we saw
Yep.
that with the Pacers, OKC last year. Look at how the Knicks have been thriving. Minnesota just bringing guys out of nowhere. OKC obviously.
Yeah.
I just feel like the league is headed that way. So then you need guys that are energizing bunnies. Like you need your Peyton Pritchards.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that on your team that can get their own shot, but not necessarily like a microwave guy, but like he's a microwave in the moments he plays as a sixth man.
Yeah.
You need the sixth man of the year. Like who was it? I'm blanking out the top of the name.
Of what team? Nazarene?
Was it paid? No, it wasn't.
I don't know this year. I don't know if they've announced it.
I think it was
I don't
from the
even know.
Pistons.
Pistons, sixth man of the
Who was
year.
it? Oh no, it was Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Keldon Johnson. Yeah, that's who it was.
Right.
Like you need those guys. You need those guys too, and you need them in multiple. Like so, like your TJ McConnells and stuff like that. I know I love TJ, but I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
want him on my team. Like I would love a
Exactly.
Peyton Pritchard, who's a little bit more stockier, but has the same effect. But yeah, that's just me.
Yeah. And then whatever your starting lineup is, the role players on that line on the starters to switch out. It's just you need to have your lineup, all your guys on your NBA team need to be like a toolbox. And if you're trying to build a table or if you're trying to mount a TV, you need different tools, right? In different series, you need different guys to play certain roles. And that's what you need the depth for. And obviously it's hard to do that. And obviously as a team you want to have an identity, so that kind of skews you one way or another. But yeah, man, if I have some time, I'll try to do like the thought experiment. Like, what is that perfect team with all of these roles filled? That's such an interesting thought experiment.
We'd have to pull back the draft and stuff like that, like that we were having.
Yeah.
There's just random guys from the teams and stuff like that. That'd be
Right.
fun. But
Yeah.
alrighty, did you have any thoughts on round two? I think we covered each team. Knicks going crazy. Pistons
Yeah.
going crazy right now. Timberwolves shocking,
Let's go.
but Spurs
Oh.
not out of it. And then we don't think the Lakers have a chance. It's pretty
Yeah.
much what I do this year.
I guess the one thing I've been telling people is that I am cheering for the non-repeat champion streak to keep going, except for the Spurs. The Spurs, I keep telling people no. I'm down for it, but I'm also not as down for it because the Spurs are going to repeat. That's so likely. And even if they don't back-to-back repeat, they're going to like 2 in 3 years, 2 in 4 years repeat.
I don't know about that. Like what I don't want to happen is for them and the Thunder to like trade titles each year and then the Eastern Conference just go to crap.
Yeah, that's what I want to avoid. That's why I'm saying like I'm down for the Spurs, but I'm also like I'm excited for the Timberwolves to beat them. Because if Timberwolves beat them, maybe from last year they learn a little bit and beat the Thunder, and then whatever Eastern Conference team that's still in, I think either way they're a new champion, so that would be fun.
Could you imagine the Timberwolves and the Knicks? Like I think we talked about this last year, but like Randall coming back and then like Karl Anthony Towns like facing his former team, that would be crazy.
Yeah, I'm down for that as well. So like, there's all these combinations of like, who are the right? Yeah, any of the Eastern Conference teams winning would be insane. It'd be amazing. When was the last time an Eastern Conference team won? The Celtics. So let's see, man. I'm excited. This is shaping up to be a good playoffs.
I agree. Just sad my Bulls are not make headway there. That's just always depressing. And meanwhile, we have the second coming of Lauri Markkanen on a playoff contending team. Who knew? Freaking whatever. Can't with this team. I can't do it. Can't do it, man.
Bryson Graham though. New what is it?
I don't know much about him. I gotta look into him and see.
He was on the
Hawks. Thought they were going Matthew Lloyd, like because of all the connections, but it surprised me.
The fact that he was on the Hawks and the Hawks fleeced the Pelicans, I mean, it must make you be somewhat excited, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for us. You can follow us on our Instagram at amon.a.mission down below.
Yep.
Full length videos are on Amon and Mission Podcast. Diego, any last words for the audience before we let them go?
Enjoy the playoffs. It's the most wonderful time of the basketball year.
You heard the man. Enjoy it. That's a command. We'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.
Yep. See ya.